This is update 2 on Tropical Storm Gabrielle, currently located just south of Puerto Rico as a 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm with a pressure of 1008 millibars. No intensification overnight. Current position 17.3 degrees north, 66.7 degrees west, and is expected to move towards the northwest over the next 2 or 3 days and then curve towards the northeast as a tropical storm, possibly attaining hurricane status along the way as it moves out to sea, but certainly no hurricane warnings or anything like that in effect for the time being. But tropical storm warnings are in effect for Puerto Rico and parts of the Dominican Republic, mainly the northern coast of the Dominican Republic, with tropical storm watches for the southern coast of the Dominican Republic too. Severe weather alerts in effect for Guadeloupe, St. Martin and St. Barthélemy in the Lesser Antilles, the Leeward Islands, and Tropical Storm Gabrielle. This is the probability percentages of tropical storm conditions in the next 96 hours with that radar imagery, the latest loop overlaid from Puerto Rico. And you can see 80% chance in the Dominican Republic in the next 96 hours, 90% over Puerto Rico right now, and 70% over in the Virgin Islands. But that's where all the storms are at the moment, all the rainfall associated with the storm over the eastern part of the Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, and perhaps a little bit further eastwards as well. The sea surface temperatures right now are around 27 to 28 degrees Celsius, certainly warm enough for sustained tropical storm development, especially as it moves away from land. We'll probably see some intensification going on, and the models agree with this too. You can see the intensity models here for the storm, most of them having a gradual intensification, most of them taking it to borderline tropical storm / hurricane status, so certainly a possibility that we may see a hurricane out of this one at last in the Atlantic, I have to say. The current track forecasts then show the storm moving generally towards the northwest at first and then moving towards the northeast as time goes on. The green line takes it overland over the Dominican Republic, the other two keep it just offshore. The shear comparisons then for the next 5 days gradually rising on a growing trend. You can see the shear there going starting from around 10 up to about 20 or 30 as time goes on, which will certainly interfere with any development in its later stages. Sea surface temperatures staying warm almost throughout the whole period, 28-29 degrees, certainly above the 26 degrees threshold that's required for tropical storm development. The relative humidity comparisons generally remaining fairly humid over the next few days, 60 to 70% humidity as time goes on, and that will drop away towards the very end of that loop, the very end of that forecast period, but we'll see how that goes. So this is the latest satellite imagery. Then you can see how most of the core of the storm has been centered over the east of Puerto Rico, the most intense of the weather at least, over the eastern half of Puerto Rico, over the Virgin Islands, perhaps extending over to St. Martin and St. Barthélemy in the Lesser Antilles. But the center of the storm is actually located just to the southwest of Puerto Rico itself, possibly where that smaller blob is. You can just see at the end of that loop there, detaching away from that really large blob that's formed over towards the northeast, which will probably be producing lots of heavy rainfall, which could lead to some flooding and some inclement conditions over Puerto Rico and possibly the Virgin Islands as well. So let's take a look at the world tropics then. You can see Tropical Depression 12E has formed in the eastern Pacific. We might have an update on that one later on as well, near Mexico. Tropical Storm Gabrielle, of course, near Puerto Rico right now. Nothing else going on in the Atlantic just yet. Well, there is 99L. That's an invest that's just formed in the past hour or two, with 2 or 3 invests still active in the western Pacific as well. Invest 99L has formed in the past hour or two near the Yucatan Peninsula, likely to move over the southern Gulf of Mexico, and currently has a 20% chance of forming in the next 48 hours. So we'll certainly keep our eyes on that one and do any updates should they require it on these videos here. So it's the 7th storm of the 2013 hurricane season, Gabrielle is. No hurricanes yet, no major hurricanes either, which certainly sticks out like a sore thumb, as you can see there, compared to all the other years around it. 3s, 5s, even 6 hurricanes by now on those other seasons, but no hurricanes yet this year. I think that may change fairly soon. I certainly don't think we'll finish up the season without any. That would certainly be very interesting to behold. It's been 99 years since that's happened, but yes, I don't think that will happen. Gabrielle, 7th storm of the season. You can track this storm at the website force13.com/stormtracking.html. That's the main page for the storm tracking information. where you're presented with the overview map showing where the storms are, including invests and including post-tropical storms. And you can also, with the tables at the top and bottom, which show their intensities and indeed any warnings that are currently in effect. So you might want to keep up to date with that on the website, because if warnings change and if the track may change over the next few hours in between videos, you might want to check the website out and see what the updates say before the next video comes out. You can also find us elsewhere on the web, Facebook and Twitter. Just search Force 13. You should find us fairly easily enough, and please do show your support as always by doing the usual engagement means of engagement, by commenting, liking, subscribing, or anything else that you may think of. I very much appreciate all the positive feedback that is received, even constructive or indeed negative feedback, as long as it's civil. But there you have it. The next update's coming up at around midnight UTC on Friday morning. That's September the 6th on Gabrielle. But until then, that's all for now.